Did Christopher Columbus lie about his own personal history? Was he not who he claimed he was? Because there's some new DNA evidence that's making a lot of historians very uncomfortable right now. So for centuries, the story was very simple. Columbus said he was born in Genoa, Italy in 1451. He had very humble origins. He was an ambitious guy, though. He talked the Spanish crown into funding a voyage nobody else would even touch. And we all know the rest. Some people call it heroic, and others, not so much. But that is not the point of this video. So some people have been quietly questioning that version of the story for a very long time, and now science is starting to back them up. So here's what happened. Researchers from Spain's Cirurgian Laboratory and Complutense University of Madrid spent years analyzing DNA from 12 different people buried in a family crypt in Helves, near Seville. These were believed to be direct descendants of Columbus. They used a technique called massively parallel sequencing, examining over 10,000 genetic markers. This is by no means a casual analysis either. It's some serious forensic work. What they found points to a man named Pedro Alvarez de Sotomayor, a powerful 15th century Galician nobleman, one of the most influential families in all of northwestern Spain. To test the connection, they ran what they called a virtual knockout, basically removing Pedro from the family tree pretty much entirely. When they did that, the genetic link between all the descendants just fell apart. No other ancestor produced that type of result. So Columbus, the humble Italian fisherman's son, may have actually been Spanish nobility. And then there's this. Pedro Alvarez de Sotomayor disappeared from all historical records around 1486. That's the exact same year Columbus showed up at the Spanish royal court for the very first time. There's also a separate but related piece to this as well. A forensic scientist named Jose Antonio Lorente from the University of Granada spent decades on this question. His team analyzed DNA from Columbus's son and brother. What they found was consistent with Spanish or Sephardic Jewish ancestry, not Italian. Now, why that matters is because in the 1490s in Spain, being Jewish wasn't just socially inconvenient, it was downright dangerous. The Spanish Inquisition was in full swing. Jews were being expelled, tortured, and forced to convert. If Columbus came from a Jewish family, hiding his identity wasn't vanity, it was survival. His own writings support this. Linguistics have noted that the way Columbus wrote contains structures typical of Galician Portuguese, not Italian. Parts of his coat of arms even mirror symbols tied to the Sotomayor family. And there are unusual passages in his will that historians have never been able to fully explain. Now, to be fair, most mainstream historians are not ready to throw out the Genoa story at all. Columbus himself wrote in 1498 that he came from Genoa and was born there. That document exists. It's on record, and the new DNA evidence is kind of indirect. It comes from descendants, not from Columbus himself. It still needs independent verification. But here's the thing. If this holds up, it means Columbus spent his entire adult life pretending to be someone he was not. He sold a false identity to the most powerful monarchs in the world. He pulled off one of the greatest acts of personal reinvention in recorded history. And honestly, historically speaking, given what was at stake for him, you almost have to respect it.